homesteading to prepping to common horse sense, we are College Hill Farm. Welcome back to College Hill Farm. Well, this is going to be a short video. I was able to find something today that I've been looking for 2 or 3 years. Now, Crystal and I, when we came to this property, we always wanted to have some type of solar energy, to use solar in some way. But now, we've thought about grid tie systems. Of course, we're on grid. We are not off grid and don't intend to be. Unless something happens, we wind up off grid and everybody's off grid. But as long as we can get grid tie power, we're going to have it. But we've always wanted to have something solar. So we wanted to have at least a solar backup, a solar generator. Now, if you bought grid-tied solar, when the power goes off, your grid-tie solar doesn't work either. Okay? You could go down and change some of the things around, but you don't have any batteries to store power in, that kind of thing. So a grid-tie system is not a system that you can use as a backup generator. So Crystal and I decided we wanted a backup generator. Well, I've been looking for solar panels, and generally you pay $1 a watt for a solar panel. If you had a 300 watt solar panel, new one, you're looking at between $200 and $300. A used one, a 300 watt solar panel, is generally somewhere in the neighborhood of $100. Well, what I came upon today, and I wasn't planning on this, but I found them on Facebook Marketplace, and I found them just in the city of Lancaster. I found 250 watt solar panels. They're used. Of course they're used, and I'll talk a little bit about used panels here in a minute. They're used, but they're 250 watts, and I got them for $40 a piece. Let me show you what I got. I bought 10 panels. This is what I got. Let me bring you over and have a look. Okay, I got 10 panels. Okay. These were manufactured in the 2000s. They're not brand new, but they're not real old. They're not 35 years old. They're probably about 7 or 8 years old. Okay. So, if we look at the back, here's the way the back is. Here's the specifications. Oh, these panels are not light. Okay, there's the specs. Now, it doesn't list the manufacture date on this, so there's no way to know when it was manufactured or when it was used. Okay? But one thing you ought to know about solar panels, these have an open circuit voltage of 37.6. Let's talk about that. Okay, now these have an open voltage of 37.6 volts. That's DC. 37 volts DC and 40 volts AC. Anything over 36 volts is dangerous in DC. Anything over 40 volts in AC is dangerous. These panels will knock the crap out of you. So you need to be careful about hooking them up. They're capable of delivering 8 amps 8.6 amps, I think is what it said on the back. So when you're working with these things, always respect that as long as the sun's shining on them, they're capable of killing you. Okay? Let me say that again. As long as the sun's shining on them, they're capable of killing you. All it takes is 0.35 amps across the heart to stop it. Those chunkers that they use in the hospital, they don't do much over a half an amp, 500 milliamps. So this is 8 amps at 36 and a half volts, 36 volts DC is tough on you. You'll feel it. It'll tangle the crap out of you. Now, what are my plans for the panels? Well, you can see these panels, this is just dirt, but they do have some things called snail trails. What happens is there's impurities that get in as the panel ages. The electrons that are moving cause the panel to change some of its characteristics, and it loses about 0.5% of strength for every year of service. Okay, so eventually at 30 years, a panel is going to be down to about 85%. But now, panels don't automatically do that. Okay, some panels will degrade faster than others. Some will degrade less than others. Some will be ready for the boneyard at 10 years, and some will be ready for the boneyard at 40 years. Okay, so it's not one of those things that there's a hard and fast rule. Now, as far as what I'm going to do with these solar panels, I've got 10 250 watt panels. My intent is to take, we have a kitchen, where we're going to build an outdoor kitchen, a back porch right now, that is directly south. It faces directly south perfectly. And the sun would shine on these summer and winter because they're directly south, and it's angled about the right. I'd only have to lift the top of these just a little bit to make them be 90 degrees to the sun in dead winter. So I'm going to put 8 of these panels. 8 of these panels. Is that right? 8? I'm going to put 2,000 watts worth of these panels, which would be 8. That's right. 2,000 watts worth of these panels on the kitchen. Then when we build our tractor shed, I'm going to put 2 of these panels on the tractor shed in order to charge a golf cart battery. I'm going to buy a new electric golf cart hopefully this spring, and I'm going to do away with my gas-powered golf cart. I may not do away with it. I'll probably modify it for something else, but that's another video altogether, probably another series of videos. But I'll put 2 of these on the roof of my tractor shed where I'll be parking my electric golf cart, and these will charge the golf cart when it's sitting in the tractor shed during the day when I'm not using it. So that's another thing that I'm going to do with these panels. Now, let's say that these panels are not that good. Let's say they're only 80%. Well, that means that I've got 1,600 watts that'll be up on the kitchen roof. I'm going to use that as an emergency backup generator. I'm going to have it power some lights and things in the house, probably in the basement, but it will also be an emergency backup generator so that if the power goes off, I've got 4 freezers and a refrigerator. So if the power goes off, I can keep those 4 freezers, the refrigerator powered up, keep some lights in our den, living room, powered up. Okay, you see where I'm going with this? So the idea here is to create a solar powered backup system for if the power goes off here. We get an ice storm or whatever, and I lived in an area where one time the power was off for 3 weeks. Well, that would be devastating to our freezers downstairs. So this is just a hedge against that problem. And if the grid goes down, I'm covered there too, at least partially. Okay? So now, I've got to store these. Well, I thought about it and thought about it. I thought, well, I really don't have room in the barn. I don't have room in my building. Where am I going to store these? They're made for outside. I'm going to take them up on the hill, strap them down where they can't blow around, and store them up on the hill with a tarp covering them. They're made to be outside. This is heavy duty aluminum frame, so I don't have to store them in a building. They're made to be outside. So I'll store these up on the hill here, and out of prying eyes, away from prying eyes. Of course, somebody will probably see them on here and go, ooh, solar panels. But I only paid $400 for these. What happens if 2 or 3 of them are bad? There's always that possibility, okay? 2 or 3 of these might be bad. Well, okay, that's $120 if 3 of them are bad. It didn't hurt me. So, as far as that goes, I'll be ready to go with these. And you can expect a few math videos showing you how I calculated how big a one I needed and how much I needed, the batteries I'm going to put in it, because I'm doing this on a shoestring. I don't have the money to put in a 2 kilowatt solar system using the stuff that some of the other homesteaders on here use, because I'm not depending on it forever. I'm depending on it for when the power goes off. Okay? So, I'm going to do it on a shoestring. That may be a mistake. I've made mistakes before. Ain't nothing new. I'll probably buy one good thing and 2 or 3 pitiful things, and over the years change them out. So, now, if you like this stuff, this homesteading, do-it-yourself kind of thing, be certain to come on out to the channel and subscribe. We do this homesteading stuff every week, sometimes 1, sometimes 5 videos, just depends on what's going on in the homestead that week. Now, if you hit the little bell when you come to the channel, it'll notify you when we upload a video. We upload every Sunday. Now, with that being said, I got to get this heavy thing back up here on the truck because I can't move until in the morning. Okay?